Is something on Thursday. Thursday, guys, I'm going to pass a hat with numbers tonight. And the order in which you draw a number is the order in which you get to tell me what your beat will be this semester in this class. Now, a news beat is who's covering what. And there's a lot of different things you can be doing, covering. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. In fact, if you're on Blackboard, why don't you just go into the news beats, click on the document in there, and it'll tell you the various areas of coverage that one of you will be assigned to each, one of those. There may be others too. I may be missing something. If you suggest to be, hey, I'd really like to cover this is not just suggest it to me, all right? But I think that these are the primary areas that we could consider news beats. That's lingo that you probably heard of news beats. It's your subject area or geographic area of coverage. Like maybe you're in the morning call, and maybe Easton area is your beat. Or maybe you're a consumer reporter. It's not a geographic area, it's a subject area. So those are what you have, and if I can be of help, I will tell you guys, why it might be a good beat. I'm glad to try to answer that for you. Let me click on that. So, there's a few more too. Arts and entertainment, athletic department. We have a very successful athletic department on the national stage. We're a top program. Campus safety, career services. If I capitalize it, it's not by accident. Nothing is by accident. That means that's the name of the department, career services. Right? Clubs, I have an asterisk there because we get a little more detail. We have about 7 clubs here, something like that. Transfer and counseling, which is go down the hallway here. Transfer and counseling. Food service, and the food service committee. Library, lifestyle is a general subject area, right? General subject area. Marketing, you have a marketing department. Monroe campus, if you're a Monroe person, but you're down here, but you spend time at Monroe, that might be up your alley. President's office / board of trustees. The president's one floor up, the guy who is in charge. Nominally in charge. The people who are really in charge in any organization are the secretaries. Trust me. Residence halls and council. So if you live in a dorm, you might, the residence halls. They don't call them dorms. Call them residence halls. Okay, so maybe you happen to be in one of the residence halls, and maybe the number is your choice, and you take it. It's available. And there's also residence hall council. Science and technology is subject area. Southside campus. That's over by Steel Stacks. So we're right the other side. Student affairs office. I think it's student affairs and leadership development. I think they changed the name. But they didn't. They did. Student life. Let me go back a second. Student affairs is good. All right, student affairs is one thing. Student life is really the clubs and entertainment activities. We have Quad Fest coming up on Thursday. Student life is important. Not do that. Helping to make club life. And then there's the Student Senate, which is a big deal here. There'll be elections coming up. The Student Senate has a budget like of $30,000, $40,000, and they get to divvy it up. I mean, they got a little bit of muscle. They're not like some sort of rinky-dink little kiddie thing. They got money, so they're going to be taken quite seriously. Commuter gets some funding from the college, but we're mostly driven by advertising. We're very profitable. We have an endowment we created 2 years ago. Right now we have $32,000 in it. And we're going to create, we have created a transfer scholarship to a promising student in the journalism, media, and professional writing programs involved in theater. But we get a lot of revenue. We got a captive audience. The best way to reach students here, if you're Temple or Penn State or DeSales or ESU or what have you, is a commuter. And right now there's an information vacuum at the college. A little background, guys. We're going through this transition where everybody's like, there's not musical chairs. it's complete wholesale renovation of the changes in staffing. And there's some positions that are not even filled right now. So, and how do you reach people? How do you communicate with commuter students? You know, we have like 10,000 plus credit students. We have about, I'd say ballpark, 35,000 students at Northampton, and if you look at the non-credit things, you know, continuing ed, and it's what you know is the tip of the iceberg. This is like a multi-million-dollar, you know, I mean, huge budget operation with hundreds upon hundreds of people who work for. We're a major employer in the valley, okay? But we're a business too, right? We're an education business, but we're business. So there's a lot going on here. I have somebody coming in, maybe Thursday. She's trying to check her calendar, who can tell you, give you more of an overview of Northampton. She'll tell you things like we have like 54 locations. Did you know that? Now, you know the primary ones to be Southside, Monroe, and here, right? I mean, we have telephone booths where people, you know, change their costumes. Some are really small. You know, we're storefronts. We're, you know, shopping, you know, centers and things, little storefronts. But we're all over the place. We're in 4 counties. Did you know that? You know what the counties are? You're gonna say Northampton and Monroe. What are the other 2? Yeah, Pike and Wayne counties, which are north of Monroe. That's our service area. I guess the state, when it was involved, in establishing a community college university here. They divvied up the state divvied up the regions to individual colleges. All right, we have Bucks County Community College that way, you know, pointing south, and west we have Lehigh Carbon or Carbon Lehigh. I can never remember that. So that's our area: Wayne, Pike, Monroe, Northampton. So big operation here. But one of the reasons I had somebody come in and talk to you is because were you guys working in a news organization, you would have to hit the ground running as fast as you could and know the area you're covering, right? Now, basically what you do is you walk the streets of the community or drive the streets of the community, depending on the size, to learn from ground level view what it is you're writing about, and who you're writing about, and get a sense of the flavor of a community. So this person is coming in to speak, Janelle Howie, will try to give you kind of an orientation to things beyond what everybody else outside this classroom would be getting, all right? Because you guys are going to be essentially the incoming staff of the commuter. That's the way it works. You're gonna write 6 courses for a grade for the 15 plus weeks. That's pretty much your grade right there. Plus a shadowing assignment that you're gonna spend part of a day with a professional journalist. You're gonna have to find the person, give me a report on it. It's fairly simple, 1 to 2 pages. As long as you do it, you get full credit. And that's your grade. Now we're gonna do class exercises, and there's not a grade per se, there's just a check mark. But when you come to me in December, and you're like, you're hovering between an A- and a B+, or you know, a B- and a B+, a B- and a C+, and yada yada yada. You're right on the edge. That's what's going to determine it. It's not going to be because I'm a nice guy. Well, I'll give you I'll bump it up. That will determine if you're on the edge, you're on the cusp. Okay, I'm not going to get into playing favorites or any of that shit. You know, if you deserve it, you deserve it because, among other things, you did the class assignments that were in class or to take home. Right, you get a check mark for it. And that's what I'll look at come December. If your grade is like an 89 average or a 79 or 80 average, that'll determine that. Okay. The way the stories word is that, and I'll have to post. I don't think I posted a document yet. There's a story idea sheet you fill out. It's very simple. What are you writing about? Why are you going to write this? And who are you going to talk to? What are your sources? Human or print sources, okay? And then you will write a rough draft, and this will become very familiar to you. I will write all over like the minute